Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title suggests, we're discussing the K-1 Fiancée visa, specifically the Affidavit of Support, the I-134, and we're specifically discussing joint sponsors. The reason I made this video specifically is because there's another video on this channel which discusses the I-864 Affidavit of Support. And in the context of the I-864 Affidavit of Support, just to provide some clarity, that is specifically the form for an immigrant spouse visa to the United States. The K-1 visa utilizes the I-134 Affidavit of Support. And it should be noted that there's a fundamental difference between these two affidavits, and that is the I-134 does not specifically allow for joint sponsorship. So those bringing in a K-1 fiancé may not be eligible to utilize a joint sponsor in the process of bringing that individual into the United States. That's very different from the I-864 where joint sponsors are allowed. I don't know specifically why this exists, other than I guess it may just be sort of a fluke in the system. They weren't really thinking that it would be an issue, or they just simply didn't foresee the problem, and it basically just resulted in this set of circumstances. For this reason, it likely behooves those who have issues with respect to being able to show an ability to financially support a foreign fiancé to go ahead and contact legal professionals in order to get proper advice with respect to the type of visa to seek in the first place, as it may behoove the couple in question to go ahead and get legally married because, and it's going to depend on circumstances, why it's probably a good idea to contact a lawyer. It's going to depend on the circumstances because joint sponsorship, generally speaking, is not going to be possible to those who are seeking a K-1 visa. In the past, just speaking specifically about the U.S. Embassy in Thailand, in the past, I did see where consular officers would allow joint sponsorship in a K-1 visa adjudication, but those days have come and long gone. That's been a long time. That was just first couple of years I was practicing. Did I see that the embassy in Thailand would allow that to happen? I think that was operating somewhat within the consulate's discretion, and there was a further clarification of the regulations, and it was decided that, look, no, pursuant to the actual rules, I-134, there can only be one I-134 sponsor in a K-1 context. Therefore, one's financial situation, it may be possible, even if one isn't making income enough to sponsor, that they can show assets. So again, contacting a legal professional to understand the nuances of this is probably a good idea. But the thing to take away from this video is just as an overall rule of thumb, if you will, K-1 visas, you're not going to be able to utilize a joint sponsor in order to get the K-1 visa. That being said, and in sort of another weird quirk, as part of the adjustment of status process, and there's another video on this channel which discusses adjustment of status specifically, in sort of a weird quirk, in the adjustment process, it is possible to have a joint sponsor as you're utilizing the I-864 Affidavit of Support. So it's kind of one of these weird quirks of the law out there that simply exists in the immigration context, and nothing's really happened to sort of change the context of that sort of loophole, and we're simply stuck with it today.